I don't know why I always dance when this is starting to go live, but I do for some weird reason. How are you guys? Let's see. I am just double checking that everything seems to be working. I think it is working. If you are joining us, give us a thumbs up so then I know that it's working. And yes, if you are watching the replay, make sure to comment replay or whatever, just to let us know when you guys are watching so then we know when is a good time to be on here live. So, hey, okay, I see some of you popping on. All right. Hey, I am Natalie with A Ray of Sunlight. I have a cute new shirt on that says paint all day, every day. My sister just made this shirt for me. Actually, she made a few different shirts for me, so I'm super excited. She actually has a business making shirts, so I designed it. Anyways, I'm super excited to have cute little paint shirts. Okay, so today we're not talking about shirts. We are talking about painting this buffet. This is a buffet that I have had for like 5 years, I think. And I have used it as our TV stand. And I'm going to put that over there. And it is time for a new paint job since we just moved into a new house. So I am going to paint it. I have this pretty paint. It's emerald urethane trim enamel paint. Hopefully you can see that. It is, oh my goodness, I'm going to butcher this so bad. I know what the word means, but sommelier, so Sommelier. I know it's like a wine or something. I don't drink. I don't know. Oh, my sister's on here, Nettie Holdaway. But if you want to talk shirts, I might be interested. That's so funny. Okay, so I'm going to use this paint, and it's this deep red color. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Okay, real quick, if you can hear me, or if this is working well for you, you just want to say, hey, give me a thumbs up, give me some hearts. I love seeing them going up on the screen, except actually I can't see them right now because of how this screen is. So, okay, whatever. I used to be able to see them, and it made me so happy. So I'm going to have to like switch over so I can see that. Okay, I am using this paint with my newfound favorite cheap paint sprayer, and it is my favorite paint sprayer because it is cheap and it works well. Oh, my husband's right.
Giving you a thumbs up because he said if I can hear you, give me a thumbs up.
Taylor's back there giving me a thumbs up. Taylor, my husband, he's back there letting me know that it's working. Okay, so I'm using the cheap paint sprayer. I am on a mission to test it with a bunch of different paints because it is cheap. So far, it has worked very well. I have heard people saying, oh, it only worked for me like a couple of times and then it died. I have used it 4 times, I think now. Today is the 5th. And we're going to keep using with the new paint and see how it works. Okay? I don't think that I've used this paint on it yet. Anyways, this sprayer is on Amazon. I think in my pinned comment, I left a link to it if you are interested. Many of you guys have bought this paint sprayer, and I'm so excited for you because I feel like other paint sprayers are like over $100, $200, close to $300, and they work great, but they're not in the price range that it's like, oh, hey, I'm going to just go buy that and try it on some projects that I have. It's just a little bit too far out there. So when I found this paint sprayer, I thought $50, there's no way that it's going to be any good. I'm going to try it and we will see. And I thought that it was going to be terrible, but it actually has worked well. So that is what I'm doing. So this paint sprayer comes with everything you need. It comes with your own paint filters, which I'll show you how to use. It comes with a bunch of different tips to put right here. I use the bluish greenish one. You just plug it into the wall. You don't have to have an air compressor. Let me reiterate, no air compressor needed. We get that question a lot. That's why I love it. You just plug it into the wall. Okay, this is not included. These are from Wagner, and they are container liners. I have not tried it with this paint sprayer yet, but I am going to try it because why not? Right? So if you put it in there, then the theory is you don't have to clean out the container, right? Okay, so I mixed up this paint pretty well, probably an hour ago when I started setting things up. So I'm gonna mix it up a little bit more, and then I'm gonna use my paint filter, set it on there, and I am going to pour the paint through the filter. Now, when I very first started painting furniture with the paint sprayer, I did not know anything about the paint filters. And so I was just pouring the paint straight in, which a lot of people probably do. And guess what? My sprayer was always clogging up every single time I used it. Then eventually I found out about filters. I used like a flour sifter over the container for the longest time. I actually have a video on how to thin paint for a paint sprayer, and I used that flour sifter. Anyways, I used that for a while until I found out about these filters. They're disposable, so you don't have to wash them out. They work very well. They're very cheap. I buy them in large packs, and they filter out any dry like debris, particles, anything that can get into that little tiny, into the tube inside of the sprayer and then cause the paint to not come out of this little tiny hole. If you have problems with your paint sprayer, if you've ever used one, not using a paint filter is probably one of the number one things that you did wrong. Just saying. The other thing is not thinning out your paint. Now, I have used this paint, this can of paint on, this will be my third makeover. I will probably have to go get more paint from Sherwin-Williams. That being said, I have thinned out this paint because I sprayed it with a different sprayer. So I typically would thin this paint with about 20% water. So if, oh, that's going to be terrible to see. Since I put the liner in, I won't be able to see how much paint I actually use. Like I can't measure it on the side because there's little lines of how much paint is in there. But I know this can was half. It looked about half, and it is 29 fluid ounces, so not quite a quart. So let's just do 30. So it was about 15 ounces that I put in here, and I like to thin it out usually 20%. So that would be 3 ounces. And every tablespoon is a half of an ounce, if I remember right. So, but this one has already been, some of the paint has been thinned out. Some of it has not been thinned out because whenever I finish using my paint, I just pour it back into the original container. I don't think that I'm supposed to do that, but I do that. So, I don't want to do 3 ounces. So maybe let's do 1.5 ounces. So that would be 3 of these tablespoons. It's not an exact science. I always test out my paint before I spray the whole project. And honestly, I don't think that this is going to be enough paint I hope that it's going to be enough paint for this first coat everywhere. But I have a lot to do for the first coat. I have inside and outside, and then the front and the back of these doors. So it's going to be quite a bit of paint. So we'll see if we can get one full coat on with just this half of a container of paint. So I just throw this away. And then I'm going to stir the water in with the paint. I really hope I don't get paint on my brand new shirt, but it is a paint shirt. So, oh well, right? I feel like lately whenever I paint, I've been getting paint all over my clothes. I've been ruining my clothes. I don't always get paint on my clothes when I paint. I don't know. Do you guys get paint on your clothes? Are you a messy painter or a clean painter? Okay. I don't know if you can see that. Let me take it closer to the camera. Hopefully I don't drop this. Okay. So this is how thin it is right now. I don't know. Can you even see that? Yeah, you can. It's running off pretty well. I feel pretty good about that. Now, really, we're going to have to use the sprayer and actually test it out before I know if this is the thickness that I want. Okay. If you guys have questions while I'm doing this, let me know. After I get done painting, I will come and look through the comments. Okay, so I have the green tip on here. All I did was I just put it on there, right? And then you have a little black cap and then whatever this is called. Screw it on. I like to have mine like this. You can have it like this or diagonal. I like it this way. And then my tube is pointed towards the front of the sprayer because I spray down a lot. Really, it doesn't matter. Okay. Hopefully this bag works with this container. Hopefully it lets me screw it on. I've only ever used them with my Wagner sprayers. Looks like it's working. I hope it works because that would be awesome. I don't want to have to clean out this paint sprayer and waste a bunch of paint. So now here is the rest of the paint sprayer. This is the motor. And like I said, it is just plugged. This is an extension cord. It's plugged into the extension cord. Extension cord is plugged into the wall. And then you just twist it on, which I love. There are some paint sprayers that you can't detach the motor from the container, and then it makes it a pain to clean. Being able to detach the motor from the container, why is it not moving? There we go. Makes it so easy to clean. So there we go. I am going to put on my paint respirator. If you cannot hear me when I put this on, please let me know. I don't know that I've used this microphone when wearing a respirator, so let me know if you can hear me, please. And I just test my paint out on a box. So the only settings are this and this, okay? So this, the closer that this black thing is to right here, the less paint will come out. And the closer this black thing is to the trigger, the more paint will come out. So let's just leave it right there and see what happens. And then I am just going to pull the trigger and it will start spraying. Awesome. Thank you so much, Leah and Cassandra. Thank you so much. All right. I'm excited. That sprayed so good. Look at how fine that is. Ah, I love this sprayer. What the heck? It's so good and it's cheap. Yeah. So I like that spray. If it was spraying too much or too little, I would just adjust this knob. That's all I would do. And on the side of it, it has a, let's see, a minus sign and a plus sign. So it lets you know if you move this, if it's going to let more or less paint out. Oh, Cassandra, I'm so glad to hear that you like this too. That's so awesome. All right, isn't that color so pretty? I'm so excited. Okay. I think I'm gonna start with these doors first, so then they can be drying. So I've got to flip them back over. And I don't want to spray anything like my garage door. I don't want to spray that on accident. So, oh, I didn't bring my other camera out here to, I usually turn on another camera to record for my other videos, and I forgot to, so hopefully I have this video after and can download it. Okay, ready? Okay. Just had a freak out moment that you guys couldn't see what I'm doing, but I think that you can see what I'm doing, right? Okay. All right, I'm gonna set those to the side. If you didn't notice, I tried to spray a pretty light coat. Uh-oh, I gotta fix it, sorry. I tried to spray a pretty light coat. You can still see, let me show you. You can still see some of the primer underneath. I'm not going for a full coat. I am going for very, almost full coverage, but I don't want it to drip. I don't want there to be any runs. I just want it to be nice, even coverage. Okay. Now, I think you can see that. Oh. I don't usually take off the back, but this time I did. Okay, good. You can see that. This time I'm going to go up and down with the paint sprayer. So I am going to adjust this. So it's this way. And then the spray will come out this way and I can go up and down with the sprayer. Okay. Okay. Now for the fun part. Oops. Let's get rid of that mark, right? Oops. All right, there we go. I'm going to turn the dial up just a little bit. See if I'm comfortable with that. Guys, this is pretty. Do you like the color? Let me know if you like that color. It looks, okay, now it just got weird. But it's probably almost as dark as that. This is what I'm seeing on the screen. It is so pretty. So pretty. Now, the inside is a little bit more tricky, and I am almost tempted to turn it around and spray it. But we'll see. I might do it, but I'm going to do it right this way for now. Oh, crap. I'm so excited, guys. Okay. Do you want a different angle? Let's give you guys a different angle. Oops. There we go. Oh, crap. I don't actually know that that was a better angle, but okay, we'll see. Thank you guys so much. Okay, for the top, should we go to the top now? I really should get a stool for this. Let's see. No, no. Should get a stool for this. It's a little bit tall, but I'm gonna try it. Okay. Usually I go back across it the other way. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do that. I think I will. All right. Okay, one more side. I haven't run out of paint quite yet. Uh-oh. Okay, I was just checking for a drip. I thought that I saw some paint dripping, but it was just the way the light was reflecting. Whoa, you don't need to be in my face like that. Okay. I don't know that I can get my camera over there because it's connected to my computer. So I might just spray really fast. How about that? I'm just going to spray. Let you watch, kind of. I wish you could watch, like it's spraying, but
I still have paint left. I don't know how much, but I have paint left. Let me get you back here again. Whew. Okay. I have paint. Did I miss anything? I got the backs of those doors. I got inside of there. When the paint dries, I'll open up the drawers and I'll do the edges and the top of the drawers. And I got the back. I could, maybe I'll get the back, like the inside of this better. Okay. I'm holding this because I'm like trying to air out my face. How am I going to do this? Watch the buffet. Ooh, watch the buffet just fall off of these wooden pieces. Or me fall. That would be fun. Okay. So this is what it looks like with the back off. I don't know if you can really see. Let's zoom it in. But there's still a lot of places that still have, you can see primer right here. And usually I just get that on like the next coat or something. But I still have paint in here. And usually I don't have the back off. But this one I do because it was falling off. So, okay, I'm going to get it. All right. I think I'm done. I think I'm getting low on paint. Whew. Nothing like being all sweaty and being on camera at the same time. Oh, that was a close-up of my face. Sorry. Okay. Where are we here? There's my computer. All right. Dying to find out, Mrs. T. Oh. No, sorry. It is not a Wagner paint sprayer. It is called Von Forn. My pinned comment on this live video, so if you're looking at the comments and you're looking at most relevant, it should give you a link specifically to that paint sprayer. It is on Amazon. It is not a Wagner sprayer. It is cheaper
than the Wagner sprayers typically are. Yeah, so go find that link because it will take you right to this sprayer if you're interested in it. Okay, I think I'm done with spraying right now. Now, this paint in particular, it says dry time is 2 hours and sorry, the camera is driving me crazy. Dry time is 2 hours and then recoat time is 4 hours. So if I want to be, I will be out here at 10:30 tonight, my time, painting a second coat. But I kind of think that the paint store closed. So I'm going to have to wait till tomorrow to paint the next coat. I am impressed. Like Sherwin-Williams Emerald, it is a self-leveling paint, meaning that it will level out on its own. But that is only if it takes a long time to dry. Like, I mean, it levels well when it dries fast, but it does it even better when it can take a little bit longer to dry. The finish on this, let's see. Oh my gosh. Okay, now remember, some of this looks this way because it's not a full coat, but really a lot, like, okay, I can see 2 little dimple marks. That's from where the old hardware holes were that I filled in. And I can see some wood grain, and I can see marks from where I rolled on the primer and then we sanded it. But really, there is not texture in that paint. Here's what I don't know, you can't see any of the marks from the primer. And that paint it's dry on the back of those doors. It's dry to the touch. For sure tonight, if I have enough paint, I will come back out here. I will flip those doors over and I will paint the fronts. So then tomorrow I can do everything another coat altogether. I will clean out this paint sprayer. Since I used the little baggie, the clear liner, I won't be wasting paint inside the container because you can never get all of the paint out when you're dumping it back out. Even when you're scraping, I guess I could go get a spatula and use a spatula and just maybe have it specifically for paint. I never thought about that until now. But that is where I feel like I lose the most paint when I'm using a paint sprayer, is when I'm cleaning out the paint sprayer, like the container. Anyways, I'm going to keep the baggie sealed up tonight so then I can use it again tomorrow. I can put more paint in it. And I will clean out the paint sprayer tonight because my rule is that I always clean out my paint sprayer at night. Whether I'm done painting or I still have another coat the next day, I always clean it out, especially with this paint that will dry hard and then it will be really hard to clean out. So, yeah, in 4 hours, I'm going to do the same thing. Now, I will fill like the tops, the horizontal surfaces, whatever, flat surfaces like the top and the shelves. If there's overspray in the air, some of that or dust, whatever, can fall onto those surfaces. So before I paint the next coat, I will rub my hand on those and see if they feel rough. If they feel rough, I will take some like 400 grit sandpaper or the foam, and I will lightly sand it just to get rid of that rough feeling. But the sides, you know, the vertical pieces, they should not feel rough at all. And then I'll clean off the dust if I sand it, and then I will paint again. So Did anybody time me how long that actually took to spray? Plus, I was on camera. So we have to add a couple more minutes because I was moving things and making sure everything was working. But I just love how fast that is, because if I was painting by hand, let's see, this live 43 minutes in, I would be like still painting half of it, or I'd still have half to paint, whatever. It takes a long time to paint by hand, but when you do it spraying, it's so much faster. Woo! And yes, Mrs. T's treasures, yes, it is hot. I have my fan going. I don't know if you can hear that, but I got smart. In the past, I haven't had my fan going. And it's summer here. It's, I don't know, 80 degrees. Thankfully, we're not in Arizona, because I would not be doing this if it was Arizona heat. Denise, what nozzle are you using? I am using the bluish greenish nozzle. I think it's a 1.3 or a 1.5 millimeter nozzle or tip, whatever. Where is the link? The link should be in my pinned comment. So while I am live, it should show up at like the bottom of the screen if you're on your phone. Let me see if I can pull up my phone. I will probably not be very fast at this. Watch. Oh, there we are. Let me turn down the volume. It should show at, oh yeah, okay. It's right here. It says, I'm so impressed by this, whatever. If you click on that, it will show you my comment. Okay. So that's how you find the link to this paint sprayer. If you're looking for it, it takes you right to the paint sprayer. So you don't have to wonder what exact sprayer it is that I'm using. Thank you so much, Pam. Yes, it is really smooth. I'm so excited. This piece, usually I sell my pieces. Sorry, my nose itches. Usually I sell our pieces. I'm keeping this one, at least for now. How far are you supposed to keep it away from the surface to avoid drips? You know, it depends how comfortable you are, how fast the paint is coming out. If the paint is coming out really fast, keep it further away. I don't know, did I keep it 5 inches away? That's where I feel comfortable with it. But again, if you don't have very much paint coming out, you can have it closer to the surface. And you can just adjust how much paint is coming out of the sprayer, so then you avoid the drips. If you don't, like, if you feel like you have to move fast and it's like spraying out a really big spray, tone it down, tone it way down. It will avoid drips. It will spray less paint, so it will waste less paint. Yeah, it's pretty controlled. How do you keep paint from getting on you? I don't know. I kept paint. See, I have plastic around, so it's getting on the plastic when I'm spraying directly at it. Did I get paint on myself? I don't think I did. It doesn't spray back at you unless you're spraying inside a cabinet that has the back on it. Then it will come back at you. But it should just go straight out. It shouldn't be coming back at you, I guess, unless there's wind or something. Oh, Deborah, you're so nice. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for your guys' kindness. I so appreciate it. It makes showing up here so much easier. There are honestly, there are days that I don't want to show up because of hateful and mean comments. Some days I don't want to show up in the comments to reply, to even look at the comments, because I'm like, oh, they hate me. So when you guys take the time to be kind and just say something nice to me, it really, really helps me. So thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Oh, Pam, I'm so glad you like the color. And Jeff, Marianne, Thomas, and Janice. Cassandra, I'm so glad you guys like the color. Awesome. I'm excited for it. If you watched our live video from last week, my rug where this is going to go has reds and kind of some burnt oranges and navy blue and some greens. It's a very colorful rug. And I think this will go very well with it. I was looking, though, honestly, I was looking at getting, like those smaller consoles that you can get on Amazon or Costco, Sam's Club, whatever. They're like 36 inches wide or whatever, that you can push together to make something really long. I was looking at doing that. Maybe I still will. I just have a hard time buying brand new furniture, because a lot of the brand new furniture is not well made at all. So I struggle with it. And then I'm like, oh, I'm going to spend so much money on that when I could go to the thrift store and buy something. I don't know, maybe I spent $100 on this 5 years ago. This is all real wood. It has mahogany veneer on it, which is another reason I painted it red, because mahogany bleeds. And if it's going to bleed any pink color, I shouldn't see it, because I'm painting it red. I had it painted white for years, and there were just some spots that were starting to be yellow or had a little bit of a pink tint to it. So I think this will be good. Oh, you guys are messy painters. Maybe, I don't know. I try not to be, but instead of like wiping my hands on my clothes, I wipe them on the table or something. Like, I try not to get the paint on my clothes. But I feel like anytime I use a roller, that's the thing, actually. When I use a roller, I end up getting paint on myself more than if I'm spraying. Yesterday I was priming this with a roller because you can't spray that primer on. And anyways, I got paint on my black shirt, white primer. And of course, it's not going to come off. I was painting inside my house, the walls with the roller, and I was getting paint all over me and everywhere. It's splattering. Like, using a paint sprayer, it's not getting on me, it's getting on the plastic. So it's really not that messy to spray. Maybe that's why I don't get myself dirty very much. Unless I like accidentally tip paint on me or something. Oh, you guys, you are so nice. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I try to be helpful. That's why I'm here. I like sharing the knowledge that I have. I like sharing ideas with you guys. I like just being here with you guys and having a little community and having some new friends. Even though you guys I'll probably never meet most of you, but it's fun to have something in common to chat about. Yeah, I love this. I love being here. As long as you guys are nice. Okay, could you come paint my cupboards pretty, please? I hate painting cupboards, like kitchen cabinets. This is way too much prep work. Oh, Nancy, so much paint on you. It's true. Like you get paint on your hands so much more. Like I have paint on my hands, but not because of when I was spraying. It was because of when I was prepping the paint in the container. So yeah, when you're painting by hand, by brush or roller, it gets everywhere. Okay, Leslie, you bought the sprayer. I'm so excited for you, but please get it out of the box, okay? Get it out of the box, put some water in it. Don't let it sit on the shelf forever, okay? Promise me. Promise me. I agree. Mrs. T's treasures, new is not good. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you so much for the love. I really appreciate it. All right. Thank you guys for sticking with me. I'm trying to figure this out. Being it's summer, I don't know when to come live. Evening, right now it's 7:20 here. I don't know if it's better to come live this time or earlier in the day. Obviously, I'm going to fit it in my schedule where I can fit it in the schedule, but if I have the option to go live like tonight, I was like, do I go live tonight or do I go live in the morning? Let me know if you, for all of you that have made it to this point and anybody who makes it to this point, let me know. Is the evening good for you? Morning time? Morning would be so much cooler in here in this garage. That afternoon sun is hot. Oh no, Nancy, you got paint on your carpet. Yikes. I'm always so worried about getting paint on the carpet. When I very first started painting furniture as a job, I painted in our 2-bedroom apartment. It was an upstairs apartment. And I painted in the kitchen over the like super cheap vinyl flooring. Every once in a while, I kind of started encroaching on the carpet and I got so nervous that I'd get the paint everywhere. You just never know when you like accidentally hit over or tip over the can or something. It was so easy to accidentally do. Oh, Lucia, you already have this sprayer. Get it out. Put water in it. Just get it out and put water in it. Plug it in and spray it. And just see what it's like. Because I feel like that takes away so much fear of, I don't even know how to work this. But if you put water in it, you can play around with the settings. Obviously, water is thinner than paint. So the settings aren't going to be the same, but like you can just mess around with the settings, get a feel for the sprayer, and then you can get the paint in there. And honestly, I think the hardest part about actually using the sprayer, whenever I get a new sprayer, my biggest concern is I don't know how much I'm going to have to thin the paint out. And so that kind of keeps me from doing it. But honestly, start with 10%. So if you have 15 ounces of paint, put 3 tablespoons of water into the paint, mix it up, test it. And if it works well, great. If it doesn't, all you have to do, unscrew it, put a couple more tablespoons in, and test it out again. So don't let it become a fear, because no matter what, you're going to have to try it for the first time. And even if you make a mistake and it doesn't go like you wanted it to, you still learned. What is it? Fail is, what is the acronym for fail? There was a something about learning. first attempt in learning is like when you spell out fail. And it's so true because it's not a fail. You can always try again. You can always see, like, yeah, you might have wasted some paint and you might have wasted some time, but you can always try again. And really, the amount of time that a paint sprayer saves is so worth it to try and learn and figure it out, because seriously, I would still be painting that thing this whole entire time. I would have sat down, turned on the live, and I would still be painting. Someday I want to come live and just paint. I actually got a really cute table at our thrift store this week, and I think I'm gonna brush the paint on. Maybe. I don't know. Do you guys want to just sit here and chat while I'm brushing on paint? I bet that table, it's a small entry table or hallway table, and I bet it'll take me like an hour to paint one coat. Maybe not. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but I bet it would. I'm so glad. I'm so excited for you guys who have bought the sprayer, especially if you haven't had a paint sprayer before. This is your first time. I think it's just great for most paint sprayers. The cheap ones don't work very well. You have to thin the paint out so much for it to even be able to spray. I have sprayers like that. That's how I first started spraying, is with one of those sprayers. And I think that sprayer was actually more expensive than this paint sprayer was. But I love that it's cheap and that it is powerful enough to spray paint. Actually, I really want to try just spraying paint that is not thinned at all. I need to try that sometime. And see. Grace. Yes, that would be great to chat with you. Are you saying me brushing and chatting or what? I hope that's what you're meaning. Try and try again until you succeed. Yes, yes, yes. Hey guys, a few of you are just popping on. Thanks for saying hello. Thanks for sending me hearts, likes, all of that fun stuff. I love seeing it, like, just, if, I don't know, does it for you, it, like, especially when a bunch of you do it, it floats up. It's really fun. I agree, Carolyn. Spraying is so much fun. I know there are many people who just love brushing because there's something calming about just brushing paint on, and I totally agree. Every once in a while I need that, but also there is something like, I sit there and I'm like, this is taking so long. This is taking so long. Oh my gosh, this is taking so long. And then I get to the edge and there's always like the drips on the edge, and then I have to brush this way and then brush this way, and I'm going over it so many times just to make sure that I don't have puddles and drips. And the whole time I am thinking, I don't like brush marks. Oh, this isn't going to look as good as if I would have just sprayed it. I wish I would have just sprayed it. But I thought that it would be easy to brush, and now I'm sitting here spending an hour brushing the paint on when I could have just sprayed it. But there are times that I, even though I don't prefer to brush paint on, unlike some of you, I brush paint on sometimes just because I know that not everybody can spray. Some people live in apartments or whatever, where if they do want to paint furniture, they have just their little kitchen area to paint in. And obviously, that's not really going to work very well for spraying. So I like to brush every now and then just to be like, hey, if you can't spray, I'm going to brush this one on or roll it on or whatever. Sam, I have a sprayer, but I'm scared a lot of overspray. I just sprayed. Let's see. Do you see a lot of overspray? All right, let me put my computer lid down maybe. Oh, maybe that's a bad idea. Don't want the live to get disconnected. Okay, so there's some overspray right here, but it's not really overspray because I was spraying it. So that's not really overspray. There's some spray down there on this cart or whatever, paper. There is spray right here, but that is because I was spraying directly at it, and that's why I have that there. But notice over on this side, there is not, I don't see any overspray. The paint comes to about here, and it's very thin. But see, I still have plastic that's going another 3 feet past that. There's not overspray, like there was overspray. This part must have been from when I was spraying the top, I think. This is, as far as I see, the red paint up. Like, there's only one spot on the ground. Let's see if you can. Nope. There's only one spot on the ground. Let me see if I can do this. See, like right there. There's that spot on the ground. And the only reason that's there is because I literally was spraying on the ground because I was painting this thing. But you look everywhere else on all of this cardboard that I put down, and there's not overspray. Like, there's just not very much. Yeah. Even when, like, talking to my mom, hey, I'm going to spray this thing. How much plastic do I need to put down? Really, it's cover the area that you're going to be spraying towards, and then maybe a couple of feet over that. But really, you shouldn't get paint past that. And the way you control that is by adjusting this knob right here. You don't want it to be all the way up and paint just billowing out. You want it to just be a small amount of spray, enough that you can slowly go up and down or side to side with the paint sprayer, and it's not spraying out a ton. It's just, it's getting a nice, very thin coat. See, like this is a very thin coat. You can see that there's still some white under here. It's not a full coverage thing, like it's spotty because there are some places that are a little bit thicker than others. But I just sprayed a very thin coat. I did not spray it thick. Does that make sense? That's how you control it. Yeah, it doesn't, you don't need to have your paint coming out a lot. If you have it coming out a lot, your whole room will just be like filled with like a cloud of paint. You'll be getting paint everywhere. Like I said, I just hang up plastic. This is literally, this plastic is just a sheet of plastic. Those up there are just nails. You could hang it up with tape too. Over here on the door, I have it hanging up with tape. And then it comes down and it covers the floor with the plastic. And then I put a little bit more plastic on just in case. And then I put the cardboard down. And in this day and age, with all of the shipping that we all do, the packages, you can just use your, like, break down your boxes of cardboard. and use that on the floor. I just do that because I don't want there to accidentally be paint on the floor. Would it be terrible if there was paint on the floor? No. But I have rented like the whole entire time that I have painted furniture. And I like to leave a place the same nice way that I got it. And so I don't like for there to be paint on things. So I cover everything up with plastic and cardboard. And with a low level of paint coming out, you don't get it everywhere. Okay, I will get off my box right there. Sorry. She got me hooked too. Oh, I am so glad. Flipping furniture, I think, is a great side hustle. I mean, it turned into a major hustle for me, a full-time job, a multiple full-time job. Like, there are so many things that we're constantly trying to keep up in the air. Between YouTube, Facebook, the blog, digital products that we're trying to create. We're actually, speaking of, we are working on a video course walking through how to paint furniture, answering all the questions. So I am so excited for that. We have put together like our first 3 videos so far. And I'm breaking it down. Hopefully this works well, but I'm breaking it down like, okay, you just want a cheap and fast makeover, do this. You want something that looks really, really nice and looks like it was done by a professional. Okay, here are the steps that you do. Like, you have no experience? Okay, do this. So I'm really excited about it. It is in the works, a full-on painting course. So I'm so excited for that to be coming out. Right, Katie? I know that not everyone is in the same boat as us. I know that a lot of you don't have a whole garage space that you can dedicate to this. I mean, I started out in a upstairs 2-bedroom apartment that literally we had to walk like a football field distance to get from the parking lot to our apartment, and then we had to go upstairs. And I remember the day that we moved into a house that had a garage and had a backyard. And that is literally like the next week. I texted my sister and was like, hey, what paint sprayer have you used? I'm going to get a paint sprayer. And then the next week or so, I learned how to use that paint sprayer. And there was no information back then. I was like, what do I thin this paint out with? It says to thin the paint. I don't know what to thin it out with. Anyways, I know that we're not all in the same boat. And so I try to do different things. Let's see, Casey, can you use stain? Oh, stain in it. Yes, you can. I don't, because I don't stain a lot. But like for staining a fence, big staining projects, yeah. I did it one time. I didn't like that I had to clean out the stain. Since it was oil-based, you have to use mineral spirits instead of just warm soapy water. I didn't really like doing that. But it worked well to spray it. It was so fast to spray it. Your settings can be super low. And it sprays on and then it soaks into the wood. I did spray it on probably too thick and I had to wipe it back off. You know, like the excess stain. I had to wipe back off. But if I were to do it again, I would just make sure that my setting was super low so that not very much stain was coming out, just enough to get full coverage, if that makes sense, like a very thin coat. Yeah. Just know that you have to clean it out with mineral spirits, but I would still clean it out the same way. You just do it with mineral spirits. So dump out the stuff. Dump it out, put mineral spirits in it, spray it out of the sprayer. And then you'll have to clean everything out with mineral spirits. It just is more when you use oil-based products, whereas like the water-based products like this, warm soapy water and then running it underwater just to get it clean. Super easy. Sam, why would your neighbors... Sorry, I don't swear. Fun fact about me, I don't swear, I don't drink. So, anyways, why would your neighbors be mad? Like, unless you're in an apartment, just put plastic and stuff down and you'll be good. And don't do it at odd times of day. I want to use a sprayer, but the chalk paint prices are too high for me. I know people can make the chalk paint. I have seen the videos. I make homemade chalk paint all the time. But you also don't have to use chalk paint. This paint does not need top coat, so I love it, actually. And even with chalk paint, it doesn't always stick to your furniture. It doesn't do what it claims. 99% of the time, you still have to prep the furniture to get the chalk paint to stick. So this paint I prepped as well, but I don't have to top coat it like chalk paint. It probably is more expensive than chalk paint, than some chalk paint, but homemade chalk paint, I do regular latex paint that you buy at the store. I like Bear paint, Bear Premium Plus, flat. And then I get some calcium carbonate powder. You can get it on Amazon. Mix it with a little bit of water and then mix it into the paint. And you have chalk paint for like $20 for a quart. I don't know. Really easy. But there are so many different types of paint. There's Bear chalk paint that is pretty cheap too. Just remember with chalk paint, you have to have top coat, and that's another step. So, can you use paintable wallpaper on furniture to add texture? Yeah. I personally haven't done it. If you haven't noticed, I am a very basic. Like, I don't like multiple colors for the most part. Like Katcha or Brush by Brandy, their work is beautiful. Do not get me wrong. Their work is beautiful. It is just not my personal style, if that makes sense. So yes, you can use paintable wallpaper on your furniture. I just have not. I love to paint. 69, started to paint when I was probably 5 years old. I haven't been able to paint lately. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that you had open heart surgery. I hope you are doing better. That is tough. I'm sorry. And hopefully you can paint again soon. How do you choose your color if you are flipping it to sell? That's a very good question. If I'm flipping it to sell solely for the purpose of selling it, and I wasn't creating content around it, black, white, tan, gray. Did I miss a neutral color? I go neutral. If you want to sell it for a profit, you want to sell it quickly, neutrals are the best way because they attract, or more people are interested in the neutrals than like this paint behind me. Not everybody wants this color of a buffet in their home. Heck, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, if I would have seen this color, I would have been like, nope, not doing it. I grew up in a house that there were a lot of red things, a lot of red decor. Not that it was bad, it was very beautiful, but I think I just got sick and tired of seeing it. But if I were to paint this like white or cream, black, it would appeal to a larger audience, and so it'd be more likely that it would sell. Navy blue and blues do very well as well. But yeah, if I'm trying to flip for profit, then I try to go think of what a lot of people would want in their home. But even then, I did that for many, many years, and still, you have to do something fun, whether it's for yourself or whatever. Like, I feel like if you just do the same white or whatever over and over and over again, it gets very boring, especially if it's your full-time job. And this has been my full-time job for almost 10 years now. And it just got boring to do neutrals all the time. So I would mix in other colors here and there. And they still do sell, but they take longer to sell. So you need to make sure that you have space to keep the furniture until it sells, and just keep relisting it over and over and over until it finally sells. Oh, my kids are in the backyard. Okay. Paige, I got that sprayer and have used it once. It turned out okay. Today I picked up a little end table to try using the sprayer again. What color tip do you recommend for fusion paint? I'm sorry that it didn't turn out as good as you hoped the first time, it sounds like. It turned out okay, but it doesn't sound like it was like awesome. So, okay. I have not used Fusion Mineral Paint with this sprayer yet. I still personally would go with the greenish blue tip. It's the second to the smallest one. I have a paint sprayer that cost me like $1,000. I have these super cheap paint sprayers, and every single time that I spray with a tip that is not a 1.3 or a 1.5, I don't like it. It is too much texture to me. I want the fine finish. So that is always with the 1.3 or the 1.5. And then I just thin it out. You should be pretty safe with Fusion Mineral Paint to thin that paint out to wherever that is for you to like the finish with the 1.3. Can you hear my kids? They're all laughing and giggling in the back. It's kind of distracting me, if I'm being honest. But it's getting nice, cooling off. It's a whopping 77 degrees out now.
Sorry, I'll get them out of here.
No, they're fine. Sorry, my husband just said, "Oh, I'll get them out of here." No, they're fine. I'm trying to think. The last time I sprayed Fusion, I think that I thinned it out 20%. I don't know that Fusion is my favorite paint to spray, though. I will say that. Can you hear them? They're distracting me. Okay, I've got to close that door. But I'm so glad to see you on here, Amanda. Thank you for showing up. Can you believe it's been 10 years? 10 years. Amanda is my sister-in-law. Anyways, it's been 10 years. 10 years since I you know, I have awesome sisters. I have an awesome family that very inspiring. They had their own Etsy shops, sold their own things, and you know, growing up I was like, I want to do something to provide for my family. So that is not working from home because my favorite sister-in-law. Yes, my favorite sister-in-law named Amanda. Anyways, I wanted to provide for the family, but be able to stay home because I am a homebody. And I tried a few different things, and painting furniture is what stuck, and I have not looked back. I love painting furniture. So, and what's even more fun, like if I was just painting furniture all the time, I would get so sick of it. But to be able to have, like, teach about how to do it, and see success stories, and just be able to sit here and chat with other people who enjoy it, and see what you guys like and what you don't like, as long as you're saying it nicely. If you're saying it rudely, then I don't like hearing that you don't like it. But if you're like, yeah, that red's not for me, cool. But if you're like, that is the ugliest color ever, then I don't, it doesn't make this job any fun. Anyways, okay. Do we have any other questions? I hope that answered you guys' questions. I hope that you guys test out the sprayer, or if you are in the market for a paint sprayer because you want a finish on your furniture that you cannot get with a brush or a roller, if you have a large project coming up, like kitchen cabinets or like a bunch of furniture or whatever, a sprayer is the way to go. So I'm not saying you have to buy this paint sprayer by any means. I just think that it's been really interesting to see how many of you have been so excited about this paint sprayer, how many have tried it. And honestly, most of the time I have heard great things. The only bad things that I've heard about it is it died on me after like 2 times, but I've used this one 5 times now. It's still working the same as it did the first time that I used it. So I'm taking those reviews with a grain of salt. Not saying that they're not true, just saying I don't know what happened there. Anyways, so not saying that you guys need to go out and buy this paint sprayer, but if you are in the market for a way to easily paint furniture, or large projects or whatever, I think that it's so cool that this paint sprayer is cheap. So because a lot of paint sprayers are just out of reach. They are way more expensive and they really don't do that much better of a job. Even with my paint sprayer that I spent $1,000 on, it's a great paint sprayer. Don't get me wrong. It's a beast. Like it will last me a very, very long time. But and I don't use it really anymore because I'm sharing ideas with you guys, and like this, what I do has shifted to be more about you guys and not about painting my furniture to sell it. And I know that $1,000 paint sprayer is not feasible for a lot of you. It was a big stretch for me. I'm glad that I did it at the time when I was painting a lot of furniture constantly. But even with that paint sprayer, I still thin out the paint. I still use a small tip because it creates the best looking finish. Yes, it can spray super thick paint. I think that this sprayer can spray thick paint too, but I can't say for sure until I try it. Do you like my screwdriver? I don't know why I'm playing with that. Anyways, yeah, I think it's a great paint sprayer. Okay, what is your favorite paint to spray that has top coat built in? Either this paint or Heirloom Traditions paint. Those are probably, honestly, two of my favorite paints, especially to spray. I don't like brushing on or rolling Heirloom Traditions paint. It has too much of a texture to it, to me. But spraying Heirloom Traditions paint on is awesome, and it's very durable. This paint, you can brush, roll, or spray it. It looks great anyway. But I like the sprayed on look the best because I don't have to worry about drips and like puddles on edges of furniture and stuff. So this paint is Sherwin-Williams Emerald Urethane Trim Enamel. Make sure it's the urethane because they have emerald paint that is more like a latex paint. It's not a trim paint, or it's not a trim enamel, whatever. It's different. It is not the same. It does not level the same as this one. Thank you. Taylor just opened my door. The thing I love about Sherwin-Williams is that you can go and you can get it tinted to any color. Any color. So that's what they tinted this one to. Guys, I need to learn how to pronounce the name. There we go. There's the name of this color. I don't drink wine. Pretty sure that's what it's a name of a wine or something. I don't know. Pretty color though. Anyways, Sherwin-Williams, it's local for a lot of people. It's everywhere across the United States. You can go in and get your paint tinted to whatever color. You can get gallons, you can get quarts. Heirloom Traditions paint, you are limited with the colors. It's not really sold in store. Maybe it's sold in store a little bit. I don't know. But I have to order it online. So if I was working on a project like this, I would have to think ahead and order the right color. Or like what I did is I went and bought like $500 worth of paint, and it's all sitting in my my closet. I bought it when it was on sale. And I just guessed what colors I would want. And so I do that. But I love that Sherwin-Williams, there's 2 of them in our town, and we do live in a smaller town. There's 2 of them here. And so I can just go run over tomorrow morning and get more paint. If I was using a different paint, I would have not used this specific color because I knew that I wouldn't have enough for the whole project. Or I would have had to wait. Like if I got to this point and I didn't have any more paint, I would have to go order more paint. And who wants to do that? Who wants to stop a project and wait for paint to come? I don't. So a lot of times when I'm picking a paint color out of my closet, I'm like, ooh, this isn't enough paint. So I'm going to have to choose a different color because I'm not going to order more paint. Rosie, you love Heirloom Traditions paint. There are so many people love Heirloom Traditions. I've heard a couple of people that are like, I don't like it. But for the most part, I hear over and over and over again that Heirloom Traditions paint is awesome. So that's why I finally tried it one day. I tried brushing it and rolling it, and I didn't really like it. They say it's self-leveling. I don't think it's self-leveling when you brush and roll it on. But I think maybe I just don't know how to do it because I've heard many of you guys say that you get a really great finish with it. I do like it's a satin finish because I don't like matte finishes. Matte finishes are hard to keep clean. Like you look at it and all of a sudden it's dusty. You barely touch it and it has white powder on it, or white dust, whatever. Like it just, matte finishes do not stay clean. They are hard to clean. When you do get something on it, it's not durable. I don't like it either and love Sherwin-Williams. Oh, I don't know what you don't like either. But I'm glad you love Sherwin-Williams. That's awesome. Anyways, so I never get matte finish. This one is satin. Yes, this one's satin. But with this emerald urethane paint, I only get satin in the dark colors. The light colors, satin looks more flat to me. And so for the light, so like a white base or whatever, I get semi-gloss instead of satin. You need to do thin coats when you brush, just like spraying. I do thin coats. I wonder if I over brush or over roll. I've thought that might be a reason why I don't do it very well, because I'm so particular about how I brush it on. I don't know. I am just not a person who enjoys brushing and rolling paint on. That's why I spray. And it looks so good when you spray it. I was very nervous because it says do not thin. Heirloom Traditions paint says do not thin. But I thinned it anyways. And then I tested it and it still is very durable, still held up well, dried like normal. And so now I thin it, 15-20%, and then spray it on, and it is a dream. So nice. It sticks very well too. Heirloom is hard for me to work with also. I try to like it, but too much fuss. That's how I feel with brushing and rolling it on. Spraying is great. So Susie, if you haven't tried spraying, maybe try spraying it, because that is awesome. It's very nice. All right, guys. Are you bored yet? I hope this was helpful. If you didn't catch us spraying, go back and rewatch when you're able to rewatch it. That's always fun. I think it's so fun to watch paint get sprayed on. It's satisfying. Oh, Katie, thank you. You're welcome. I wish that I could just transfer my knowledge to you guys. I feel like I forget to share things or whatever. I have a lot of things that I've learned over the years. Watch me get red paint in my hair from doing that. I have learned so much in 10 years. I have made so many mistakes. I have furniture that I need to repaint, and I need to strip it down to raw wood because I did not do it properly. I've learned so much. So I am happy to share. And I'm happy that you guys are here and that you are wanting to learn. That is awesome. Don't you hate it when you have something you want to tell somebody and nobody's interested in it? I'm so glad that I can sit here and talk to you guys about it, because Taylor doesn't really care. I mean, he'll listen, but before he came to work with me, he would listen to me talk about stuff and be like, I don't even know. Okay. Yeah, cool. Now that he works with me, he prepped this piece. He was sanding it today so then I could paint it. So now he understands a little bit more. And I can talk to him a little bit more about it, but kind of sucks when you don't have anybody to talk to about whatever it is that you like. So thank you for being here. I agree. Yes, Lucia, try it in a paint sprayer. Susie, you discovered me about a month ago. Oh, thanks. I'm glad that you found me. That's awesome. I love reading the blog. They are very informative. Thank you for saying that. I so appreciate it. The blog is I love the blog. I absolutely love the blog. I think videos are great too. I love sitting here chatting with you guys here on live video. I think they're all great. I know the blog is not for everyone. I know videos are not for everyone. Like, there's something great about each different thing. I know that I will get people saying, your live video is way too long. Just get to the point. Well, I'm not here for those who just want me to get to the point on live videos. Like, yeah, I try to get to the point, but there's a lot that goes into furniture painting. So you can't just get to the point all the time on live video. But that's what the 3-minute and 5-minute and 8-minute videos that we produce are for, is for those who want, or 1 minute, the reels. We literally create, I think I recorded 5 voiceovers for reels today, a short video, which is like the 3-minute long video. And then I think the other one that I recorded it's probably going to end up being like 6 minutes long for one project. We created that. And then we also create a blog post for written content that walks you through how we did it. And it's not only for you guys, but it's also for me, because I've done so many furniture makeovers that I'm like, oh, how did I do that? How much did I thin that out? Or what was the process that I used specifically for that one? And since it is all written out there, I can remember what I did. But it also helps you, like, if you want to go recreate something that I've done or learn how to use a paint, and I include my mistakes in there too. So if you end up finding one that I share, I made this mistake, whatever, like, it helps you learn. But I know it's not for everyone. Some people want videos. So I totally understand that. I like videos too, but I also like blog posts. Anyways, okay, that was a long rant. But I know that there is a lot of confusion with the blog posts. And that there are ads on there, and people don't like that. I mean, I don't love looking at ads either, but if I don't have them, I can't be here doing this. So I love to hear when you guys appreciate the blog posts. I just love when you are so kind to me. I so appreciate it so much. Yes, Katie, everyone has different learning styles, and that is exactly what we're trying to do. Like, we're trying to share what we're doing in all of the things. It's a lot. But we do it for you guys. So yeah. Heirloom Traditions takes 30 days to completely dry and cure. You can use it, but it's fussy like that. All paint takes about 30 days to dry completely. Even there is one paint that says that it cures in 1 hour. I have yet to actually experience that when using the paint. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. But every single paint takes about a month to cure. But I have been very impressed with Heirloom Traditions. I can do a scratch test on it like 24 or 48 hours after I've painted it on, and it does not budge. So what I mean by a scratch test is like taking my nail and scratching at it. Most paint is still soft at that point, and I can scratch some of it off. Heirloom Traditions does not scratch off like that. You can scuff it a little bit, like change the sheen where you're scratching at, but it sticks very well. So, oh, Gloria, I'm so glad to hear. She's used Heirloom Traditions for years, and all of her pieces are still pristine. That's awesome. Do you have kids? Little kids? This buffet was beat up. There were a lot of chips. I prepped it pretty well. I won't say that I did everything perfectly on it, but I prepped it well. Then I used chalk paint and a top coat. And those kids running into my furniture, I'm not hitting them. They were hitting into my furniture. And so there were dings and chips in my paint. Oh, Lucia, yes. I am more of the teaching type instead of being like, here's the new look. Like, I like to explain it. And I totally understand that's not for everyone. Totally understand. Becky, I used Heirloom Traditions, and a few months later, I set a candle holder on it. It had a felt base, and the paint came off. It looked so strange, almost like the paint melted away. I had sanded, cleaned, etc. So you lit a candle and you had it on a candle holder that had a felt base. I will say, even the toughest paints, okay, not the very toughest paints. There's factory finishes, and we don't use those, right? So like IKEA furniture or whatever. Factory finishes that are like plastic. Obviously those don't even hold up all the time. But paint still has to be taken care of. Even stained finishes, they have to be taken care of. I am kind of surprised that a candle holder, I wouldn't expect a bunch of heat from that to be able to ruin the paint. But I will say, like, a cup of water or a water bottle or whatever, you can't set it on a painted surface or a stained surface and let it sweat. Like, you've got to put a coaster or something underneath to help protect your paint, no matter what paint you use. Thank you guys so much for the love. I really, really, really appreciate it. So thank you so much. Oh, Glenna, don't get me wrong. I too like the paint. It's just fussy for me anyway. I agree. Like, it is a fussy paint to brush and roll. So for me anyway, it's a fussy paint in that way. I was just saying that that heirloom traditions and most paint still takes, no matter what the paint is, it does take 30 days to cure. Becky, that's interesting. The paint that she thinks that I was talking about dries in 1 hour, but still takes 4 days to cure. So I very well might be wrong in that one. I just don't feel like I have heard them say it takes 4 days to cure. I've heard them be like, literally, in an hour it's cured. Or even like 24 hours it's cured. And I don't feel like that's the case. I feel like it does still take 30 days to cure. But maybe I'm using it wrong. I don't know. I think it's funny. Every paint brand have their pros and cons. Every paint brand tries, they're selling their paint. They're going to talk about the good things about it. Like chalk paint. How many brands of chalk paint are there that say, oh, you don't have to do anything before you paint. You can just start painting. But really, how many pieces of furniture is that actually realistic? A lot of pieces of furniture you can't just paint. For one, it's not going to stick. For two, you're going to have bleed through issues if you do just paint without priming. So there's every paint company tries to sell you on something, and I feel like every paint company doesn't completely live up to those things that they're trying to sell. Does that make sense? So that's why I test out a lot of them, because I want to know and I want to share with you. Is this really saying, or does this really work the way that they say that it works? Does that make sense? I have no idea what heirloom says that it takes to cure. I just know that most paints really do take about 30 days to cure. Your candle was never lit. It was a piece of furniture in my hall that wasn't used for anything except for decor on top. No kids around either. That is very strange. Very, very strange. Did you prep at all before you painted, Becky? Because once again, I know Heirloom Traditions paint, they say you clean it with the deglosser and then you can paint. And yes, I have tested that out. And yes, within like 24 to 48 hours, I have scratched at it and it doesn't budge. But that still doesn't mean it's indestructible. But to me, that tells me that it sticks way better than any other paint that I have personally tried. Because I got it to stick on laminate, super slick laminate, scratched at it 48 hours later, and this was with me just cleaning it off. And within 48 hours, it wasn't scratching off. But I know that it was not the best job. And that's the thing. Sometimes I try things out just to try them out because I know that the company says, hey, this will work. And I know, like, I have 2 end tables right over here that I did what the company said that it should do. And I've got to take the paint off because it's not sticking. I either need to take the paint off and redo them, or I need to just sell them as is for cheap and let somebody else do it. Becky, how did you prep? What did you do? I'm curious. That's crazy that it came off. Too bad. Very, very bad. But also, like I was saying before, like literally, I haven't met a paint that is DIY that can hold up to a lot of things. It should hold up to that. I do think that I saw a question. Kathy, do I need to shellac before using heirloom? Just got some and want to paint. You will get better results if you prime before you use heirloom traditions. You'll get better results if you scuff sand before using it, but that is the case with every single paint. So that doesn't really answer your question. If you want it to turn out really nice and the most durable, then I would. If you just want a quick paint job and you don't really care, this hurts me to say it because I know there's so many terrible paint jobs out there on furniture, and I pass them up because they're terrible paint jobs and I don't want to have to undo it. So it pains me to say, but also do what you're gonna do anyways. If you just want a quick paint job, you probably don't need a shellac. Just know it won't last as long. Becky, you cleaned and used dirty glosser and sanded, also used primer. Darn it. That's too bad. Only one spot had an issue. Also painted table, 6 chairs, buffet, china cabinet with no issues. I also used primer. Maybe it was that one spot, but that would be crazy if it was that one spot. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. But that's too bad. I'm sorry. I hate when that happens. Susie, I try to do a live video every week. Unless life just gets too busy, then I don't. It tends to be, it seems like, I don't have it set in stone. I really should have it set in stone, but I am very much a person who doesn't like to have to be on a strict schedule. I fear that if I was like every Thursday at 6 p.m., I'm going to go live, I would not be able to stick to it. And I would stress myself out. Anyways, I try to do lives. I think this is my longest live yet. Usually I get off sooner, and I probably need to get going. Holy cow, it's 8:30 almost. Yeah, hope that answers your question. Maybe one day I will get good and actually do live videos on a consistent day and time. Maybe. Becky, you think it was chemical reaction with a felt bottom of candle holder, but that's crazy. Felt and paint, and then just the weight of the candle, not having it lit. That's crazy. Getting ready to paint a dresser with Heirloom Traditions paint. Should I use the shellac as a primer? I am sitting here trying to think if I have actually used Heirloom Traditions over shellac. I don't know that I have. So I guess I can't say 100% yes, use shellac before Heirloom Traditions. I know that I have used other primers, regular primers, and they like the black Aqualock. I know that I used. I think I might have used shellac, clear shellac before Heirloom Traditions paint. I don't see why it would cause any issue. But that's why I'm a little bit hesitant to be like, yes, for sure, because I don't remember for sure using shellac before Heirloom Traditions and how that went down. Sorry. Okay. I think I'm just going to sit here and wait for the clock to go to exactly 2 hours. We got 1 more minute. All right, guys, just kidding. I'm going to get off of here. Thank you to those who stuck around. Thank you to those who are watching or going to watch the replay and are sticking around clear to the end. You guys are awesome. Thank you for showing up here, asking questions and being so kind. I so appreciate it. Sitting here listening to me ramble. I really appreciate you guys. I will probably tomorrow get more paint for this and hopefully finish this up. Yeah, I got to go clean out my paint sprayer too tonight before. Oh, 2 hours. We've been on here for 2 hours. Time to cut it off. Okay. Oh, Judy used a before and had very good turnout with it on a bathroom vanity. Awesome. Yeah, for the most part, there's great reviews on it. Yeah. I mean, I don't think anything gets always 100% or 5-star reviews constantly or whatever, but it's a good paint. Hey, Michelle. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Judy. Okay. I'm going to get off of here. We've reached 2 hours. I'm going to go clean my paint sprayer now. Shouldn't be too hard since I used the baggie. So, all right. You guys have a good night. Thanks for sticking with me, putting up with me. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.